now we have a keynote address by Mr. AK Tiwari, member Digital Communications Commission, on the topic 5G trials and new use cases relevant to the Indian market. Welcome, Mr. Tiwari. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5G must be one of the most searched technology words on internet. We have been talking about 5G on different platforms for the last few years, but in a single context of making 5G happen in India. I can assure you that India is pacing fast to roll out 5G technologies. The GSA February 2022 report quotes that over 206 operators launched 5G services in 81 countries and territories. As we have seen, the telecom technologies are transforming almost once in 10 years. Technology trials are critical for testing in the field, considering the fact telecom rollout involves multi-billion investment. The government has announced 5G technology trials last year to enable the service providers to experience 5G environment for rollout, dimensioning, issues, propagation characteristics, etc. So there is also a need for operators to have a sufficient planning period so that rigorous technology trials would enable their assessment of siting requirements, capacities more accurately. So recently, the trial period has also been extended to further facilitate this. So we have extended this trial period till we start rollout after the auction. As you all know, 5G is opening up enormous opportunity, not just in voice and data, but across industry verticals. In view of this trying and experimenting 5G use cases for Indian market is another key objective in facilitating trials for the service providers. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, India offers experimental spectrum for indoor and outdoor use at most liberal condition in the world. By paying merely 5,000 rupees through self-declaration, any entity can obtain experimental spectrum for indoor testing, demonstration, and manufacturing. The conditions are same even for outdoor experimentation trials, except that it is offered through coordination because outdoor conditions are something different. All the applicants were offered spectrum for 5G trials, whichever the band they want and wherever they want at any place throughout country. The Department of Telecommunications takes this opportunity to acknowledge the significant efforts from operators doing the trials in 13 cities in the country. The trials are also significant on another dimensions that they are in progress in urban, suburban, rural areas, exploring the opportunities and understanding planning issues to enable a swift and smooth rollout. Because conditions in urban may be different from conditions prevailing in rural area and their requirement. Spectrum is an important resource to enable proliferation of 5G. As you have observed, there are active discussions and consultations from TRAI and stakeholders on spectrum. After high-level deliberations, DoT made reference to TRAI on various spectrum bands with large quantities of spectrum identified for 5G services. As you have noticed, sufficient spectrum has been identified in all bands, be it millimeter or mid-band or sub-gigahertz like that, including in all bands over 3,000 5G devices of various categories are reported to be available in the global market in the bands announced or offered from India. So with this view, DoT is very confident that taking note of identified bands and active allocation process, the market will respond to bring in many of these devices into Indian market soon. More the number of devices, more the choice for people, enabling affordability, and 5G devices will be available throughout the country with affordable rate. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that 5G technology ecosystem has become broader and deeper in the country as Indian technology companies, especially startups, SMEs, and CDOT are working hard in developing indigenous 5G technologies from their 4G journey, which started several years back. I can assure you that these products and technologies are being developed and hardened while I am speaking with you. So India will witness good number of players in 5G technologies, paving way for 6G revolution in the coming years, enabling use cases across all verticals, all ministries, in every space of life. It is important to mention that 5G is also about providing next generation communication for enterprises, business, campuses. It would be of interest for all of us that several Indian players, including IT services companies, are working very seriously in identifying, prototyping, and testing 5G use cases. I recall the enthusiastic response from the last 5G hackathon and receiving of over more than 1,000 proposals with several key ideas in agriculture, smart infrastructure, logistics, health, education, manufacturing, resource management, and in many other fields. So several of these are also being tried in the current 5G technology trials. The operators, means our service providers, are excited about new service opportunities during these trials, and I am sure the market will respond positively in taking forward the adoption of these use cases for the benefit of society, business, and all across. Further, the DoT has also constituted an interministerial high-level committee consisting of representatives from vertical ministries, which are envisaged to have a potential impact, enhanced efficiencies, service delivery mechanisms, effectiveness of operations, and also quality of life are reported from global efforts on 5G use cases. As part of this engagement, the DoT is involving service providers, technology companies, use case developers, vertical industries, system integrators, vertical ministries, COEs to ensure every stakeholder is involved in evolving and trying 5G use cases. DoT is currently involved with Ministry of Agriculture and many other ministries to find out and to set up use case labs. The DoT funded 5G test bed is almost ready in offering 5G testing services for the technology industry and use case companies. It is important to mention that the test bed across access will be available at very affordable rate for startups and SMEs to promote Atmanirbhar Bharat in building indigenous technologies and services. I am also happy to mention that there is a good progress at 5G use case lab at IDRBT Hyderabad, which is closely working with Indian technology companies for 5G use case in fintech sector. We envisage to create more such centers in different verticals, creating capacities and necessary competencies to exploit the extreme 5G capabilities to shape new generation of use case. These use cases will shape our life across all walk of spheres in business, in enterprises, and in strategic uses also. Ladies and gentlemen, I am also happy to mention that Indian 5G standard is being discussed globally, and ways and means are being explored to take forward key features of 5G in other global standards. I appreciate the positive response from global OEMs in acknowledging the 5G features for enhanced coverage in rural areas and higher penetration in urban areas to enable cost-effective rollout of 5G services. As part of the process, the TSDSI is working with industry to make this feasible in coming months to position a unified standard integrating the key 5G features. These 5G features are welcomed in many other countries, especially undeveloped and developing countries. The 5G HLF report envisages a cumulative economic benefit of $1 trillion for the India by 2035 by exploiting 5G services in the country. Several measures to enable this vision and NDCP strategies are proactively being taken up by the DoT in consultation and participation from all stakeholders. To realize this vision of National Broadband Mission and Digital India, all-out efforts are necessary across the stakeholders to build a strong collaborative partnership. I wish the organizers, speakers, and participants to work towards bridging this digital divide by enabling 5G and its opportunities across all socioeconomic sectors, all walks of life. I wish the organizers, Economic Times, speakers, and participants to work towards bridging the digital divide by enabling 5G and its opportunities across all socioeconomic sectors. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Tiwari, for sharing your thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, for any query related to the event, feel free to visit the Help Center in the lobby. Stay tuned and keep tweeting using the hashtag 5G Congress.